Greetings everyone, this is Danny from harrtravel.com, and we're currently on board the brand new beautiful Norwegian Joy. I've got the pool deck behind me. I'd love to take you on a tour of this beautiful new ship. Come along. The sun and the pool deck on board the Norwegian Joy are a little bit different than the sister ships. So if you follow me over here and look down, right now we're in Alaska. They've cleared the spots out so that we can have a lot of viewing areas right now. But down here, the pool is offset to the side, and there's a huge dance floor, which is great because you've got the music set up over there. Do big parties all the time out here. In fact, tonight is going to be the glow party, which is the white party that they normally do but elevated. And behind it, you can see a couple different water slides. So you've got the kids park, the aqua park down there. That's where my daughter will be on board. And you have the bigger water slide with the tubes. And then all the way over here on the side, you've got a really cool and unique water slide proposition. This is the Ocean Loops water slide. You can see you stand all the way up there, and then there's just a little platform that you stand on. It opens up, gives way, you drop straight down, and then you come and do a couple loops, including ones that go out over the edge of the ocean, if you follow me over here. All right, so right here, it's clear, see-through acrylic plastic so that you can see everybody going through. You see it comes around the edge, loops twice, and finishes off. It's a really fast water slide. In fact, I think it's one of the best water slides on the ocean today. So one of the unique things with this slide, as with a lot of different slides that have lots of loops and things like that, is that some people don't make it all the way through. But if for whatever reason you can't make it all the way through, this is actually the place where they let you out. It's not scary at all. It's just kind of funny, but I thought I'd point it out because the person in front of me had to do that. But I had a few more burgers than she did, and I was good to go. So right up above me is one of the absolute coolest features on board the Norwegian Joy. It was the first cruise ship in the world ever built with a go-kart racing track. They go up to 35 miles an hour. I just got off one myself, and it's a blast. So follow me on up. The cars are just starting out, so the first lap or two, they have it governed down to a really low speed. So you can see them coming out at a really low speed here. As they come down, do about 10 racers at a time, and you get approximately 10 laps each time that you go. So they're just taking it slow out. You can kind of see, if you follow me right over here, going up the first hill, a little bit slow, and then in another lap or so, they'll turn the governors off, and then they can go full speed. So everybody is out of pit row. Let's head on to the top. A couple things you want to know about the racetrack on board the Joy. First, it's a paid venue. Currently the price is $15, and you get about 10 laps out of it or so. It's a great thing to do with friends or family because you get to race against other people. And what I love is that you're not racing, the whole way. What you're doing is you're just doing lap time. So the fastest lap time wins, and then they aggregate that over the day, over the cruise, over the month, so you can see where you stand out. Also, you always want to remember to bring closed-toed shoes, and you want to leave your personal items in your cabin when you do it. You will have to sign a release, and you'll bring your room card because that's how they identify who you are. So you can see everybody's having a blast. I just did it myself and absolutely loved it, and I'll be doing it again when I get back on the ship here in just a couple weeks. So just past the go-karts is the miniature golf course, one of the classic things that you can do on board any cruise ship. Follow me. One of my all-time favorite things to do on any cruise is miniature golfing. In fact, some of my earliest cruise memories back when I was 6, 7, 8 years old was miniature golfing. So it's fun to do when you're a kid, it's fun to do when you're an adult, it's fun to do when you've had a drink or two, it's also just fun in general. So there we go. Let's go. All right. It's the perfect clean shot that I wanted. They didn't even know. There we go. Lining it up. Will he make a par? I don't know. Oh, over the hole. Too much speed. Augusta gets you every time. Bogey. So one of the unique features on board the Norwegian Joy is a laser tag arena. It's on the very top deck, deck 19. So if you follow me up here, you can check it out. So the first thing is separate everybody into teams, get big guns, head on in, and blast away. It's a lot of fun. Growing up, for me anyways, laser tag was huge in the late 90s, early 2000s, one of my favorite things to do. And now doing it again with my own kiddo, it's a blast to do. So one of the adults-only features on board the Norwegian Joy is the Vibe Beach Club. It's that perfect place to escape. It's adults only. You pay a fee either daily or for the entire cruise, and then you have the access to it. You'll notice there's, the chairs have the thicker padding. When we get inside there, the loungers have the thicker padding, a little higher level of service, a couple bars up here. But the most important part is that it is adults only. So if you follow me on over here, we are cruising in Alaska, and it's the end of the day, so there's not a lot of people out right now. But when the sun's out and it's a beautiful day, that you get quite a few people in here. There's a couple hot tubs up here as well, taking advantage of it right there. But essentially, The vibe of the place is kind of a little bit chill. A little bit later on in the day, it gets a little more party atmosphere, but it's an adults only area where you can escape the kids and really sit back, relax, and be an adult on board the ship. So next we're heading to Spice H2O. If you follow me down here, one of the really cool things that I like about this is it has a huge hot tub, whereas in the more tropical climates, some of the other ships, they have a waterfall and a really cool area to sit. But in Alaska, what's better than a hot tub? So one of the first things you'll notice is the huge party hot tub. Awesome place to hang out with friends, adults, get away. You can see they're having a pretty good time. I like it. Should I get in? It's time? Yeah, let's go. So this actually transforms into a massive nightclub, dance club. You can see all the lights that they have up there, all the LED lights, more up here. They clear out the chairs here and you just have a ton of room to dance. On the getaway, the breakaway, the escape, the bliss. Some of my favorite memories were the parties that they had at this part of the ship. So love this space on board the Norwegian Joy, and it's even more usable in Alaska because of the huge hot tub. One really important space at any venue where you gotta have nightlife and parties is the bar. So right here you've got the Spice H2O bar. All right, so now we're heading right on into the main deck, the main pool deck area of the Norwegian Joy. How's it going? One of the cool things about Norwegian in general is you can almost always get the unlimited beverage package. So all of their rooms, all the sailings have at least one perk on there, and that's one of the perks, is that you get unlimited beverages throughout the cruise. There's a ton of great bars, phenomenal bartenders like Noel here. He's getting ready to pour me a drink and made it a double. I like it, I like the way he thinks. But what I love about it is you can go to any bar in the entire ship, and while you're dining, you can get your drinks, you don't have to worry about it. You can think of it as prepaid. You do pay the gratuities, which comes out to just under about $20 a day, but by doing so, you get to hang out with cool people like Noel all day. So we're on the main pool deck of the Norwegian Joy. You can see this is one of the main pools. This is the largest pool here. And just behind it is the kids' splash zone. So there's a smaller water slide for the kiddos. You got the big bucket drop. They can walk across the rope bridge, all those kind of things. So that's an area exclusively for the smaller children. And then you also have another pool on the other side. And something that's really unique about this particular pool deck is it has a massive expanse. I don't know, I might like to have one more pool, but I do love it when they have the parties at night, like tonight, when they do the glow party. There's a ton of space for everybody to spread out where you're not bumping into each other that much, but ton of space and a huge screen. So one of the cool things that Norwegian does is throughout the cruise, if you hashtag the ship that you're on, and then you reference at Norwegian Cruises, they put your pictures up as you go. So it's really fun to be walking through the atrium or outside, and there's one of your pictures. They also do movies and other things out here as well. So now I'm walking on the pool deck from the aft of the ship to the front of the ship, which is where the Garden Cafe is, which is the buffet where you can eat most of your meals if you don't want to sit down. So right here you have overflow area. So this is overflow dining for the Garden Cafe. You can see it all the way down there. It is quite a bit of a walk down here if you need to do that, but it just gives a lot more space. So you can see the really interesting feature of this offset pool. Most of the time the pools are right in the middle, but what that does is it opens up a lot more deck space. You see the bandstand over there as well. So when the pools are open, they do have lifeguards on duty, and then these are the kids' life jackets here. Lots of different sizes, plenty of them, so all the kids are equipped. And then right behind me is the towel exchange. One of the other things that they bring out all the time in Alaska is the Starbucks coffee bike. It's not here right now, but it was here earlier in the day this morning. So now we're on the other far corner of the pool deck. This is the Waves bar. So now we're on the other side of the ship. This is more overflow dining area for the Garden Cafe. And the one thing that I noticed immediately when I come in is the heaters. They're nice and warm, keeping this space nice and heated, which is really important when you're in Alaska. Got a beverage station here, and these are positioned all throughout the ship. And this is a great idea to look at to see what is included, essentially, what is free when you cruise. So always you get iced tea and lemonade. One of the things I've noticed on several of the cruise lines now is they have these Nestle Vitality waters. So you can also get strawberry kiwi, tropical mango. Once again, this is included and complimentary. Water, ice, lots of basic teas and things along those lines. Also you get brewed coffee, milk, and then in the morning you get juices. Pretty much everything else on here, if you don't have the ultimate beverage package, you're gonna pay for it. Like every cruise ship, there's one big buffet. So this is one of the things I like is it's really spread out. It's a new ship, it's really, really big. So you have a lot more stations where you can grab and go and get things. So instead of having one long line, you've got a lot of different places for people to grab. So follow me through, check it out. The first section station, you've got, it's got tonight's Oriental Buffet. This is one that also always has burgers, hot dogs, fries, things like that. Okay, so we got some charcuterie out and salads. There's almost a dozen salad bars throughout the whole buffet. Seafood, This is the pasta station as well. And my favorite, dessert. Coconut macaroons will not survive me. So one of my favorite stops on any cruise ship is, of course, the soft serve ice cream. So there you go. This is complimentary vanilla chocolate. You got your cones here. The drink station. These are all the complimentary drinks that you'll have on board: the tea, lemonade, coffee, those kind of things. So in addition to things you find on all cruise ships, you know, like the salad bars, fruit, things like that, they also have different ethnic section set up. So this is Indian food. In fact, some of the best Indian food I've ever had on a cruise ship has been on this ship right now. So the chefs know what they're doing. Really authentic and fantastic Indian food every single night. So is this the most popular station?
Yes.
What do you think? The ice cream station?
Ice cream station.
I like it.
Hello.
You know, I should be eating at the fruit station next door, but when there's ice cream, I mean, come on. Inside the buffet, they also have Starbucks dispensers. They've got 3 of their different coffees up there. The ship is based in Seattle when it's in Alaska, and it's based in Los Angeles currently when it's in the South. So they have a great relationship with Starbucks. In fact, there are 2 Starbucks on board and a couple additional portable Starbucks bikes. So I think the best place to sit in the Garden Cafe is actually the very front of the ship. There's a ton of space, and one of the unique features here is the observation lounge, which is right below us on deck 15, opens up to it. So you get this really big, open, beautiful view out the front of the ship. So this is another great place to sit when you're going through the glaciers, having a bite to eat, cup of coffee. But it's one more beautiful way to see Alaska. One unique and interesting feature of the Norwegian Joy is the American Diner. This is the spot that Margaritaville has been on for the last several ships, and also on the Bliss as well. When it was built for the Chinese market, this was kind of a novelty thing. It took off really well, and the food is fantastic. It's all a la carte. Follow me on in. You can see the 50s diner vibe. You've got the Ford Mustang here that's turned into a couple booths. You've got the classic, five and dime look. So here's the bar. We've got an open kitchen behind us, which I always enjoy. And yeah, it's one of the specialty dining restaurant choices that you have on board the Norwegian Joy. This is a brand new space on board the Norwegian Joy, and it's gonna be on the Escape, so it's been a big hit. This is the Galaxy Pavilion. Also behind us is Entourage Teen Club and the Video Arcade. Follow me on in. What's unique about this is it's the first and only, to this point, virtual reality gaming center on board a cruise ship. So if you look straight ahead, it's actually just getting set up for the Extreme Drome Race. What you do is you put the VR headsets on, and everything is 4D. So there's a fan that blows wind into your face, and the whole thing moves up and down. So these 2 guys work for Norwegian. They're just getting ready to get started on there. One of the other really cool features is right up here are the screens. So you can see what they're seeing, so it makes the movements make a little bit more sense. So this guy's just getting off the ground here, getting started flying the drone. And you can see everything is moving. The entire chair is moving. You've got a great fan right down here that's blowing wind in your face. So you really do feel like you're flying and moving. Those people that get motion sick, just beware on some of the rides that you need to be prepared for that, because certain ones that move a lot and fly and kind of twirl around, they can upset the stomach. But they're pretty awesome to do. A real full-size Formula One car, and getting ready to race right now. Here we go. So this one is walk the plank, and what you do is you stand up on here and you walk out, so you get the illusion that you're balancing. There's a great harness here that you dive into literally, and then you're walking on the plank, like the edge of a bridge. You're walking on the edge of a skyscraper, and so when the things fall or release or you fall off the edge, it really gives you that full 4D feeling. Right. Flymax, so this is a hang gliding thing where you actually lay down, put on the goggles, and go. So another option is the Exterminator. I thought that it wouldn't move quite as much because it's got some really, really huge guns. It's a fun game, but you go up and down and fly, and yeah, it turned my stomach just a little bit, but it was awesome. All right, over here, you're looking out at the back of the ship. Unbelievable view for everybody who's not playing, but if you're playing, you've got your headsets on, and there's 6 race cars, so you race against each other. They move a lot, and you really get that illusion, that feel that you're moving. So in addition, there's several different car and Jeep rides. This happens to be the Jurassic Escape, where the car's moving and you're being chased by dinosaurs, as you can imagine. So one of the things that I had questions about when going into this VR experience was, am I putting on the same exact mask that everybody else is putting on? Seems a little bit kind of gross, and you're not. So when you come in, they give you this little handy dandy face mask, put it on, wrap it around your ears, and so the goggles only come into contact with this. You can see that people are wearing it, but it's just a nice way to stay germ free. Of course, there's also sinks, and please wash your hands everywhere throughout the show. So in addition to that, you have a full arcade. So these are pay as you go. You got classic ones like basketball, air hockey, and then quite a few other different options. This is perfect spot for teenagers to hang out. And one of the things that is unique about this space is it's actually attached to the teen club. So in addition to the daily programming that everybody gets, there's special programming for each age group. So this happens to be for Entourage, which is the teenagers, but they basically have events and things going on today from 11 a.m. until about 9 p.m. So there's usually programming for most of the day for them if they want to hang out with friends, do crafts, play video games. They also do scavenger hunts, all kinds of things throughout the show. So the really cool feature that they have in here is a virtual reality wall. What that is you take one of these papers, I have a sea turtle, and you color it in. Really fun, especially for kids, right? And then after you color it in, what you do is you take it just over here, and what they're gonna do is actually scan it, and once they scan it, it becomes an image on the wall. So it becomes fully interactive. You can see all the different images they got here, different kids' names, kind of stuff. But this is something that I've seen, actually the only other place I've really seen it is Disney's Animator Palette, which is a really, really, really cool option. This is just fun. To see something that you create come to life is awesome for kids. So just next to the Galaxy Pavilion is the Mandara Spa and Salon. So there's also a barbershop in there, and then they do Medi Spa treatments as well. So this is the lounge area right when you come in. You can follow me on in here. Got the barbershop, which is a really great place for men to use the spa. You got great shaves and massages and everything else. Okay, and then you also have a full salon. Got manicures, pedicures, all that kind of stuff. So this is the area to get a pedicure. It's a really relaxing thing. Fire and Ice is the one that I've heard everybody's enjoyed the most on this, but look at the view. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and be on vacation. Getting ready to head into the Pulse Fitness Center, which is a great place to stay in shape on board. Not only do they do classes, but they also do individual personal training if you want, things like yoga, spin. Go ahead and show you out, but they have a wide assortment of free weights and machines, which is great. So see, got the ellipticals, got treadmills, some great bikes, TRX. You do this for personal training. They don't do classes yet, but they will. Get your body mass index checked. It's pretty much everything you see in a great gym. You've got a rowing machine, Smith machine, and then also, if you'll follow me in here, you've got a separate spin room. There you go. So you got the shoes over there. Got the spin bikes. You can do classes. They do quite a few different types of classes in here. Okay. So we're heading into the observation lounge right now, which is an incredible space for viewing. It's a huge public space, and this actually was rooms before on the Norwegian Joy, before they converted it over to make it into the US product. So this spot was the observation lounge on the Bliss. And one thing that's interesting is they give up a lot of revenue by taking cabins out. What they do is they create incredible public spaces, so there's a lot more room to spread out. So this is a perfect place for viewing anything, the glaciers, Panama Canal, Mexican Riviera, and it extends almost a little over a third of the ship, all the way around the front. And then when we get to the front, you're gonna see a massive 2-story full wall of windows that just gives the most beautiful light. It's a fantastic public space, and I think one of the best public spaces on board any cruise ship. Got a variety of seating. You got some bench seating here, more there. And one of the unique things that they did is that all of the architectural pieces open up. So you can see through, you get that light, and you get the view. As soon as you get up the ramp, what you see is just the most beautiful views. That is a unique space on board a cruise ship because it's 2 levels high, it's absolutely massive, and the entire wall is windows. So this is the perfect place to sit, have coffee in the morning, which is super duper convenient because there is a Starbucks just over here. So this is the second of 2 Starbucks on board. You have one on deck 6 in the main atrium and the one in the observation lounge. I really like it. It's a full service Starbucks. You get all the lattes, macchiatos, frappuccinos, whatever it is that you want. Okay. One important thing to note is it is not included in the Ultimate Beverage package, but it is included if you get the Plus version of the Ultimate Beverage package. Okay. Follow me on over. You also have a great bar area. So you have even more seating, and then I'm going to head up the ramp here one more time. You can see the other half of the lounge, but it is a huge, open, beautiful space. There we go. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but right above us, there's big open windows, and that is the Garden Cafe. So once again, that's a beautiful spot to sit as well, and you get the exact same view, just a little bit further back. So the District Brew House on board is a great place to get a beer, especially if you like a diverse collection. So they have a ton on tap, and then they also have a ton of bottles, and then it's also a full bar. They have a piano in there, so they do music every night. Last night was a comedy music thing that was fantastic from Jim Badger, who's one of my all-time favorite cruise entertainers. The great paraphernalia on the wall, very old school Americana. So in the evenings, this is hopping. It's just about 6 o'clock right now, but that's where the piano player will set up. And last night it was going till about 1:30 in the morning. Large collection of things available. This is what's on tap currently, and you can see the large tap over there. All right, so as we head out of the District Brew House, you're gonna head outdoor here. Everywhere on the ship, it's not motion activated. You have to push a button right here. Some places, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit irritating, but it definitely conserves on energy. So I love this covered space because as I head out of the District Brew House, I'm heading to the waterfront. So this is the outdoor dining area, and you can walk all the way to it with a covered ceiling above you. So if the weather's inclement at all, you can still access it from the outside. So this is the boardwalk like you traditionally see on most cruise ships. And what this is it's the first of the outdoor dinings that we're gonna see. So this is La Cucina. It's an Italian restaurant. There's a ton of outdoor seating. Right now we're on the inaugural, so they're only operating about 40-50% capacity. But when the ship's going on a normal cruise, you'd have people out here, and you'll notice they have fantastic heaters on all of the waterfront, so it's the perfect place to eat, even in Alaska. You also have wonderful wind breaks up. So it's cold outside, I'm not gonna lie right now. It's very cold, but I'm pretty warm right here, and you'd be warm where you're dining. They'll also bring out blankets for you if you like. So we're heading on into La Cucina right now, which is the Italian restaurant. Just getting started for the dinner hour. And this is the bar right at the entryway. So now we're in the very middle of the ship, in the heart of it. So you can see you have indoor and outdoor dining. And on two sides, what I like is on the waterfront side, but also on the inside, if you come over here, you've got a little rail here. So one of my favorite things to do on any cruise is, of course, people watching. So it gives you two spots to people watch, and it kind of feels more like an authentic outdoor experience or one that you'd have at a restaurant nearby your house. So when the Waterfront debuted on the Norwegian Breakaway, it was really a revolutionary thing. This really didn't exist. Part of it had to do with how ships were built. Part of it had to do with just the ingenuity and the ideas that Norwegian has. Norwegian's been at the forefront of that for a very long time. They were the first people to do freestyle cruising, which is essentially no set dinings, lots of options, specialty like this. It's caught on, and what you'll notice is that all of their competitors do it as well now. Okay? So as we move on, there's a couple bar venues as well too. This is the outdoor seating area for the Cavern Club. And what the Cavern Club is it's based on the Cavern Club in Liverpool, and it's a Beatles club, essentially. So they do Beatles tribute shows every night. It's probably, well, it is the most popular venue on board the ship. It's pretty small, but it makes for a fantastic environment. So get the Fab Four up there. It's really a blast with your friends. So you have this outdoor seating area, and then there's also an outdoor bar that's tied to the Cavern Club as well. I think these are the best seats in the house, but my personal opinion is that the bartender has the absolute best view of anybody on any ship. For the view, that's yeah. There we go. All right, so we head on into the Cavern Club right now. It's early evening now, so it's just getting set up. I did this once before. There we go. Woo! I love it. All right. When you come in from the middle of the ship, the first thing that you're going to see is the bar. So once again, every single night the bar is hopping. It's completely full. If you want to come to one of the shows, you should get there early for sure. When you pan around here, You can see it's meant to look exactly like part of the Cavern Club in Liverpool. In fact, on board our sailing right now is John Lennon's sister, who's the director of the Cavern Club. I don't want to be too obnoxious to touch the instruments, but I mean, I want to, but you know, yeah, we're good. All right, I'll be a good boy. Okay, so we're heading back out to the waterfront. Nice. Here we go. So the next area on the waterfront on the Norwegian Joy is really just kind of an outdoor seating and lounge area. It's the same on both sides of the ship, but it's the trade winds, tax and duty free. This is the shopping area on the inside, so there's no immediate access out. When the Norwegian Joy was built for the Chinese market, there was a lot more retail on board. So they've actually cut the retail down significantly, but you can see that some of that space was just more utilized for that versus a ship that's designed for the United States market. So one of the other things that they did in the dry dock is they also took out rooms, which reduced the guest capacity, and then they built out some of these public spaces a little bit more. So there's a lot of open space to spread out, so it really hasn't felt crowded at all. So one of the unique things on the partitions on the waterfront is that at the bottom, the glass is completely solid, but at the top, there's gaps in there, so you get a nice little breeze, especially when it's really warm outside. It's nice to get that ocean breeze. All right, so you got even more seating area out here, and then as we head on up, we'll get to Cagney's. So Cagney's Steakhouse is as old school as Norwegian comes. It's been on their ships from the very first freestyle ships, and it's a classic steakhouse. It's a fantastic option on board any of their ships. So as you walk in here, it has a lot less outdoor capacity actually than some of the other parts. This is all the way at the back of the ship as well. But if you follow me on in, check it out. Once again, it's a classic old school steakhouse. All right. Got the food preparation open right here. Steaks. So I'm in the very, very back, and actually this is where the transition happens and it becomes Le Bistro. So once again, best seating in Le Bistro is in the very, very back, looking out at the wake. So just on the opposite side of the ship of Cagney's is Le Bistro. This is a classic French restaurant. It's exactly what you would expect of a French restaurant, coq au vin, all those wonderful dishes. And this has been on all of the Norwegian ships since the very beginning of freestyle as well. So back here, you've got the outdoor seating area, wonderful heaters, and then follow me on in here. Whoops. There we go. All right. So you walk on into Le Bistro. See the indoor seating is here as well. And then just through there is the A-list bar. This is one of my favorite bars on board the ship. It's always a hopping place where people come for pre-dinner cocktails, but it's also just a really good vibe, and the bartenders are amazing.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Appreciate it. Cheers. All right. After a brief stop at the A-list bar, we're on to our next venue. So as we're walking along here, you can see the overboard cameras that they have up here. These have been installed for, basically safety at sea all throughout the ship. It's a brand new ship, so they know if anything goes overboard immediately. The other really cool thing that you're going to see right away too is the water slide up there. It does come completely off the side of the ship. It's cantilevered off the side, and you can see through the clear tubes what's happening, who's going through. A little more seating out here as well. So we're currently on the U.S. inaugural for the Norwegian Joy. And it's important to point out the U.S. inaugural, this ship actually had its first inaugural 2 years ago in 2017 in China. What happened is Norwegian launched the ship, and for several reasons, some geopolitical reasons, things along those lines, it just didn't pan out well to marketing to the Chinese market. So what they decided to do is pull the ship out of the market completely. That's really unheard of. And what they did is convert it back to a U.S.-based ship. There's a lot of things that were designed specifically for the Chinese market. There was a lot more casino space, a lot more retail, especially dinings. Quite a few of them were completely different than what would appeal to the American taste. And so they've completely renovated it. They did a $50+ million renovation on a ship that's brand new. And one of the other really unique things is they pulled cabins out so that they could create the observation lounge. This ship is being launched in Alaska, just like the Bliss was. It'll be back in Alaska again next season in 2020. And so they wanted to make it perfect for the Alaska market. They installed a lot of heaters that weren't there before. And then they also created this massive observation lounge, which is the perfect place to take in Alaska. It's actually my favorite venue on any cruise ship that goes to Alaska. So we're coming up on the Sugarcane Mojito Bar, which is an indoor-outdoor bar venue. So out here, seating area, great outdoor bar. Cheers. I like it. It's got live music in here. So now we're in the very heart of the ship, and behind me you have a ton of retail. Once again, it was cut down significantly in the dry dock, but there's a ton of great retail if you're looking for a shopping experience. We're actually in what's called the 6, 7, 8 complex, and it references floor 6 at the very bottom, 7 and 8 where we are. We've got a beautiful, beautiful crystal chandelier centerpiece right there, and we're gonna head back on out to the waterfront to check out another venue. It's got a little more outdoor seating for the Sugarcane Mojito Bar. I love all of this extra seating, beautiful view out to the ocean, and it's really comfortable seating as well. So the next one we're coming up on is Ocean Blue, which is a seafood restaurant on board the Norwegian Joy. Okay, it's one different from the Bliss. It has less outdoor space than the Bliss does for sure, but it's got a ton of great outdoor space and a pretty good size indoor restaurant as well. So Ocean Blue, like all of the waterfront restaurants, have indoor and outdoor seating. If you follow me on in, we'll check out the indoor seating as well. So this is a seafood lover's dinner for sure. Wow. All right. Good. Okay. So as we head out of Ocean Blue, we're going to head into Cellars, which is the wine bar on board. You notice one of the things that separates it is a ton of wine bottles. It's actually refrigerated. It's a beautiful and functional decoration. So you see La Cucina right across the way, and then we'll head on into Cellars. So you can see there's a little less seating in Ocean Blue than there is in La Cucina because you have Cellars here. Robert Mondavi Family Winery. They have a relationship with Norwegian, and they have a massive wine collection. So in addition to all the wonderful wines that they have and the wine tastings, they've got this great iPad app that helps you select the wines that you like based on what your tastes are, the things that you're looking for. It's kind of a really cool thing. We're back out on the waterfront at Ocean Blue. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that the outdoor walking areas are actually the best place to walk on the ship. Because they, adding this extra space out here, the hallways are a little bit narrow in the middle of it, and so if you get out when it's a little bit crowded, you get out here, you got a lot of place to walk, and you have beautiful, beautiful views. Okay, so second to last venue on the waterfront is the Humidor Cigar Lounge. So it's a great place if you enjoy cigars. You can get a great cognac cigar, and they have a wide selection for purchase, including some Cuban options, which is great. Okay.
Well, he had that big purse, and then he
had a great assortment of cigars for purchase.
part of your recovery process.
All right, and now we've made a complete loop, and we're at Food Republic, which is a phenomenal restaurant on board. It's Japanese, California-inspired cuisine, and it's delicious. So right when you walk in, you'll notice you have the iPads to order from. It's throughout the entire, and there we go. It's Jackie Friedman. Who would have thought?
Photobomb.
I love it, love it.
Hey,
you like
Ken.
this place too?
I love this place.
What's your favorite restaurant on board the Joy?
You know what? I haven't tried them all yet, but I hear that this place is.
I think we need another month or two so we can try them all.
I think so. And
love
so
it.
if you want to come on the Joy, this is the guy to book with.
I love it. All right, enjoy your meal.
Thank you, my friend.
Oh, dig in. I love it. All right. Okay. So one of the things you'll notice right away is that you have these iPads to order from. They've got a ton of information. You can order your drinks, your food, everything. What the restaurant makeup is several like sushi bars, preparation areas, and then you also have high top tables in the middle, and then tables along the ocean front as well. So you got the wok stir fry going on over here. See some chicken satays, deep fried. Hello, how's it going? What are you making? What are you making?
Salad.
Ooh. Delicious. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Okay. It's kind of a unique seating area that I really like. Looking out, absolutely beautiful view. Another high tops. And then looks around, you've got the waterfront as well. So the tables that I would recommend to ask for, if you can, would be one of the ones that's up against the windows. That's the case in all the restaurants on board the ship. It's like all the restaurants on board all ships. So head on out. So as we exit Food Republic, you can see right across the way is the District Brew House. So sometimes it's better if you need to get in or go out and use the restroom, it's better to come back in this way because it's a little less crowded than the front areas. So I'm walking into the Joy Theater, which is the main theater on board the Norwegian Joy. It's in the very front of the ship. It's a really large theater. They're getting ready to start Footloose tonight. So each of the big theater venues on board, the big Norwegian ships have their own show. I just noticed that the next one, the encore coming out is Kinky Boots, and on board the Bliss, they have Jersey Boys. All of them are fantastic, full-length Broadway feature shows. They also have several other shows, comedians, things like that they'll have in here. So you can see it's a really large theater venue. Got reserved handicap seating up at the top. So you see a ton of seating in here, and then there's also special seating reserved for the Haven. So that's one of the other perks that you have if you're staying in the Haven, is that you get reserved seating at this show and some of the other shows as well. So now we're on deck 7, which is part of the 6, 7, 8, the 3 main decks where you have all the open passenger areas. And I'm heading into the local bar and grill. So this has been a signature since the Norwegian breakaway. It's kind of like a pub, but what I love is that it's open 24 hours a day. And their chicken wings are really good. And I've had a lot of chicken wings in here over the years. But I had breakfast here today, so breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night. It's always open. And in addition to a ton of seating, the seating actually goes all the way around the corner there as well. You got booths as well as tables. You also have this large open area that opens down to the atrium below. So you have more seating here that you can order food from. And then there's a large bar over there. That's a great sports bar. Watch the game right now is the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it looks like Colorado's up 3-1. There we go. So one thing that I really appreciate in the design of the Norwegian Joy is the way they've separated out the casino. So if you follow me in, on some of their older ships, right as soon as you made this transition, you could smell smoke. And it's also, as we walk through, you notice that it's open to below. So this is deck 7. It's the sandwich deck of the 6, 7, and 8 complex. You got the huge, beautiful chandelier. But what used to happen is, the whole area was the casino, and so you'd have people smoking. But what has happened now is, as you follow me further back, you're going to find an enclosed smoking area in the casino. So there's no smoking in these large open passenger areas or any of the areas that open up to other decks, which I really love in the design features. All right, so we're heading all the way to the back of the casino, and what you'll see is this enclosed area. So that's the smoking area. They've separated it off completely, which is great for smokers and those who don't want that as well, because the ventilation is really fantastic because they have a closed-in space. And then you also have attached to the casino, you've got the Skyline Bar. These big, beautiful screens playing music throughout the day. So this is kind of the end of the casino, and they actually have casino games at the bar as well. So we're exiting the casino and we're heading to the very back of the ship once again. We're going to the Manhattan room. So this is one of the complimentary main dining rooms on board. And what it's meant to be is like the old classic liners and an old classic Manhattan ballroom. So we're just walking into the Manhattan room. You notice in this part of the room, you've got normal size ceilings. So as we transition, you get into a large open space. This is 2 decks high. You've got Cagney's over here, Le Bistro, and then the dining for that in the back. And then at the very back, you're gonna have beautiful ocean views once again. Okay. We're at the front of deck 5 in front of Q. It's the barbecue restaurant on board. It's my favorite restaurant on board the Norwegian Joy. This debuted on board the Bliss, has a real smoker, and they have live country music that starts usually 8 or 9 o'clock every single night and goes late into the night. It's a great venue, phenomenal food. The venue is actually right below the seating area of the Joy Theater, so that's kind of the shape of it. You've got some booths, lots of tables, big tables. You can put large family groups together. And then, of course, they have the live music that starts usually around at 9 o'clock every single evening and plays late into the night. It smells like you're in a Texas smokehouse. You smell the barbecue sauce. They have several of their own barbecue sauces that they make, but it's everything that you would expect, sausage, ribs, brisket, all that kind of wonderful stuff. So if you follow me here. The design is beautiful. Howdy. All right, and then behind me we have the Q Bar. So this was a Q restaurant. One of the things I really like is when they start music every night at 9 o'clock, anybody can go and use the bar, and then they also turn some of the tables into like bar seating, so anybody can come in and listen to music, even if you don't have a reservation for Q and you're not dining in the restaurant. So another great live music venue. You want to know the key to my heart? It's barbecue. Just saying. One of the great features on board the Norwegian Joy is this Wayfinder area. So basically you can get any information that you want, period. You can even reserve your shows. It's a little bit different right now because we're on an inaugural and it's all pre-selected for you. But for example, you just hit dining. It'll tell you kind of what has seating or what doesn't. So right now the 3 specialty dining, or the 3 main dining rooms don't have seating late, but they have quite a bit of seating right now. But you can access the specialty, the complimentary, it tells you when it is, and you can even go and reserve it. Once again, everything's sold out now because it's all pre-reserved on the inaugural. What you would do is at this point, you just scan your key card, like that. Okay, and then you're going to verify your room. There you go. You're going to pick which day we're getting off tomorrow morning. So just pick today and then pick the party size for. Go ahead and hit next. Once again, right now it's sold out, but this is how you do it, and then you get your dining time. It works exactly the same way on the entertainment side, where you can pre-select, in this case, Footloose tickets or Elements or other things along those lines. Also tells you the time of what's going on and when it's going on. So 8:30 in the morning, you do your lanyard. They got the lanyard activation stations, and the Speedway opens at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So anyway, this just gives you all of the information that you could possibly want about what's going on the Norwegian Joy. Also shows you where your room is if you're lost, and it just has access to everything that you need to know. We're going to head on in to the main atrium level on deck 6, which is where you're going to find guest relations. You're going to find Starbucks and a large atrium bar. It's going to be a little loud right now because the piano player is playing. So on a normal cruise, this would be the shore excursions desk right here. And then you've got more shore excursions, onboard credit, guest services all throughout the rest of the way. So this is where you come if you have any issues, if you need to reserve something, have any questions, they can get you all taken care of. Okay, you've got a small little library area over here. So one thing that I wanted to point out is the cruise next desk. So if you're on board and you love it, which I can't believe that you wouldn't love it, you can book your next cruise right where you're on board. You can pre-reserve a specific cruise, or you can also just put down a reservation. You double your money towards your next deposit, and basically it can be essentially a $250 savings per person. So if you know you're going to do it, I always recommend that you do it, and it transfers right to your travel agent, really seamless. So explore the rest of the atrium right now. There's usually a lot more seating. A lot of it's pulled back for the inaugural. You have the atrium bar here. Louis the 13th, if you're really, really thirsty, it might cost you a few bucks, but not included in any of the drink packages, just saying. But here's the Starbucks. This is the main Starbucks on board. This is a brand new space that was just built. It wasn't on the Norwegian Joy when it was in China. So beautiful brand new space. Looks just like any new Starbucks anywhere in the world. So one really cool thing is that you can actually use your Starbucks gift cards here. You can also earn the Starbucks rewards point. So it's just like shopping on any land-based Starbucks as well. In a very fitting fashion, just outside of the Starbucks is the Internet Cafe. On most cruise ships, they're getting rid of the Internet Cafes in general. I like that they do have some computers set up for you. Follow in here. This is one of the most popular desks on the very first day of any cruise because it's the Wi-Fi desk. Getting it set up, I had a little problem with mine. They fixed it in about 30 seconds. I've had great Wi-Fi throughout the entire cruise. They have Wi-Fi that's fast enough to stream, talk on the phone, Netflix, and use pay for it. You can pick that a la carte, so you can do it by the day. You can also do it for the entire cruise. You usually get a pretty good discount if you do it for the entire cruise. So we're heading into Teppanyaki, which is, I guess the easiest way to describe it is it's very similar to Benihana. It's been on all the freestyle ships. It's a huge hit, and it's one of actually the only few restaurants left where you do just pay one cover charge, and it's pretty much all you can eat. It's $29.95 in this thing. So if you follow me on in. So what I like is it's divided into 2 areas of 10. So you can have a large party, a small party. You can still kind of sit together, talk to each other. I'm not going to go too much further in here, but that way you can see what's going on. But it's just a fun way to eat. It's a fun way to get together with friends. And Japanese food is really, really delicious. All right, so right across from teppanyaki is the social. This is at the very heart of the 6, 7, 8 complex. So there's a massive atrium above me, really, really big, beautiful space. And this is actually a comedy club, and it becomes the dance club later on at night. So we'll pop in here real quick. So right next to the social is the Maltings Whiskey Bar. It's a really nice, cozy, comfortable space, and the bartenders are really, really good at those fancy, fancy cocktails. Just outside the Maltings Whiskey Bar is the Collection, the art gallery. Norwegian Cruise Lines has a partnership with Park West, where you can participate in auctions or just purchase art on board. So we're going to walk through the art gallery on our way to the 2 other main dining rooms. So right in the middle here you have the mix bar, and on either side you have the other 2 complimentary main dining rooms. So you've got Savor over here to the right, and you've got Taste over here to the left. So follow me over to Savor. So in both Savor and Taste, and also the Manhattan room, you're gonna have the same menu each night. So it does rotate each night, but you're gonna have the same menu, and these are the complimentary options on board for the sit-down dining. So now we're heading to the back of deck 6, and we're gonna head down the stairs, which is the only way to access the kids club. So one thing that's great on this ship is they have the kids club on the bottom floor, which is kind of away from absolutely everything else. So this is really the only way to get down there, elevators or stairs. But it doesn't open up to any other public space, so it keeps kids kind of a little more contained. The Entourage Club is up at the top, next to the video arcade, which is a perfect location for that, and it's also away from all of the other kids as well. I really like that. So now we're down on deck 5. The front half of deck 5 is passenger rooms. It's where you're going to find the family ocean view rooms that I really like. So we're heading into the Splash Academy, which is for basically 3 to 12-year-olds. So there's 3 programs here. Just on the left here, we're not going to pan in there because there are kids in there, but that's going to be the Turtles room, which is for the little ones that are 3 to 5. That's what my daughter's going to take advantage of in a few weeks. Okay? And you come into here. This is the bigger room where you're going to have 5 to 9, 5 to 10-year-olds. They're getting ready for their glow party right now, but it's a really big space. They can also partition it off. They've got cubbies for the kids, video game areas, got a great movie on right now. Got great little bathrooms for them that are exactly perfect for kids. So it's been a really well thought out space, really well designed. And they do have drop-off services starting from age 3 if they're potty trained. This particular ship does not have the Guppies program on it right now, but that's the 6-month-old to 3-year-olds where the parents can come in and play with them. So basically on the Joy, it's gonna start at 3 years old. And so now we're heading into a space that was just completely redesigned. So right here is a door. Normally you could cut through here. Once again, there's little kiddos in there right now, so we're not going to film in there. But this space used to be a crew area when the Joy was in China, and they needed more space for kids programs. So what they did is they built and created this space. So this is going to be the area for 10 to 12-year-olds. It hasn't been used yet at all. It's brand new. Once again, we're on deck 5 at the very bottom of the ship. So basically the 3-year-olds to the 12-year-olds at the very bottom, deck 5 away from absolutely everything else. And then they have their own separate water park area up on the top. There's a lot of the great things to do for kiddos. They usually have programming from about 9 in the morning till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And they even have some babysitting services as well. So once again, for 10 and 12-year-olds, this is the place to chill and hang out.